Hey guys, so I thought I would do today a video on, do I need a double pram or not? I know that a lot of people that I've been watching on YouTube and a few friends of mine have gone on now to have their second babies, and they've got toddlers and they're kind of at that age where they don't know if they're going to need one or they do. And I thought I'd kind of do a little video about that. So when Albert was born, Sebastian was 2 years and 8 months, which for most children, they're probably fine walking around most of the day. Now, Sebastian is he's tiny, he's very, very small, he's got very little legs, and he burns a lot of energy and gets extremely tired. Even at that stage, we would never have, say, been able to walk Patch around the area. He couldn't have come on a walk with us with Patch. He wouldn't have been able to keep up. He would get very tired. He'd end up asking me to carry him. I'd always take a sling just in case. I just sort of struggled a bit, and I felt that I still needed the double option. He still needs a pram. Even now, he's 3.5, he still needs a pram to walk home from preschool, because at the end of the day, he's so tired and he won't even stand on a buggy board. His legs just like give way. He wants to sit down and just eat a snack and be carried home. You know, I think it really depends on your child. I know 2-year-olds that refuse to go in the prams and they just want to walk, and they will walk and walk and walk and have no issue with that. Again, if your child, say, still has a nap and you're on a big day out, you might want a pram then. There is also the option, which we did do quite a lot at the beginning, that your eldest is in the pram and that your youngest is in the sling, and we did that for quite a long time. But there were just some times when I wanted to be able to put Albert down, or both of them at the very early days would nap. Sebastian was still napping then until about Christmas time, and Albert was born in November, so I'd need something where I could be able to put them both if they fell asleep. I loved carrying Albert as a newborn, but my back's been really affected by his pregnancy, and I've struggled to carry him on my front. I've no issues carrying him on my back, but on my front I did struggle, like a long day out. So I really wanted to just have that option. Also, sometimes we go to places that are extremely busy and I'm just like, he needs to be in the pram. We went to Birmingham not long ago and it was so busy. I didn't want him walking around. That's just my anxiety around that. I wanted him in a pram strapped down so that I've got him there and I could just motor through, you know, the people and the busyness of it all. That's when it's really good to have something that's interchangeable. So we originally had the Eye Candy Peach, and I love that pram as a single. It was the best pram I've had. If we ever have a third, I have an honest gut feeling that I reckon I might end up buying it back. But in the end, this time round, I sold that to get a mounted buggy duet, and I'll talk about that later. But I wanted the Eye Candy, you can convert into a tandem, so I could put a seat on top, and that was really good for, like I said, long days out, and then I could turn it back into a single. So it really does depend on your child, but I think having the option is really nice. Again, if you find that your child doesn't get really tired, then a buggy board might be all you need, just something they can stand on and be pushed about. On a day-to-day basis, we don't really need much. Like if he's not in preschool or nursery, we can just, you know, if we're just in the local area, all he needs is his buggy board or a scooter. Buggy board he has actually is actually a scooter that clips on as a buggy board, so he can take it off and put it back on however he wants to use it. So I like to have the option of a double pram for a long day out. You could perhaps buy a cheap side-by-side for those, you know, and then just keep your like nice single pram with a buggy board. It's kind of depends on what you want. Found that the Eye Candy just didn't really suit me, because the upper seat it's a good size, and Sebastian is a small child, but even then even though he's small, he still looked too big for it, and it kind of just felt like it was too flimsy for him. I don't know, I just didn't kind of like it anymore. It was also really heavy to push, and I found it really difficult to get the Albert out the bottom. Another thing is that if I wanted to go out on a long day, I'd have to take it out as a double, so I'd have to have one seat empty, and you could use that seat, I suppose, as storage, but it kind of did bother me sometimes. So I decided to go with the mounted buggy duet, and the mounted buggy duet is a side-by-side push chair that's a kind of travel system. You can use it in all different ways with carry cot, car seat, however, but it's only as wide as a single push chair, so you can get pretty much through every single door. What I really liked about it is the fact that the seat that Sebastian would otherwise be in because it's all fabric, can come out and go underneath the pram, and then in its place is a basket, a bit like the Bugaboo Donkey, but a less glamorous version. And it is not nowhere near as glamorous, but it's definitely practical, and it's fantastic off-road. So that's what I wanted. I want the interchangeable option. So my advice would be just kind of have a look and see how often your child is walking and how far do you go. Do you go on long days out where you need a double pushchair? Would you be able to get your husband or someone to carry the baby if need be? I mean, if I didn't have problems with my back and if Chris didn't have problems with his hips, then maybe we wouldn't bother. But obviously there's rainy days where you don't want to be carrying them in the sling, and you know, for me, I just felt I needed that. I know, like I said, it really just depends on your child. If you feel that your child is absolutely fine all day on a buggy board, on and off it, or if they don't nap anymore, then you probably really don't need one. I'm not one of these people that's gonna say, well, my child's 3 now, 3.5, and they've got legs, they can walk, because I think that can be really unfair. I would never make Sebastian walk all the way to preschool and walk all the way back if he is absolutely shattered. I wouldn't do that to him. I don't feel that that's very fair. He is small, so he does get very tired, admittedly, but even if he was bigger and he was really tired, I still would, you know, maybe that's just me. I'm not the biggest fan of forcing children to like walk. Obviously if they're like in school or something, you know, that you can probably get them on a bike or a scooter, but Sebastian's a bit too young to kind of to do that. Like, so he could probably scooter for a little bit, but not properly, you know. So definitely just kind of think about what you need and the longevity. He only really needed a double all the time for probably the first sort of 2 months that Albert came along, and after that he was like fine to walk. It really kind of changed in that time. So that's it, really quick video. I'm going to do a video now on tandem pushchairs versus side-by-side pushchairs, because I think this is quite an interesting one as well. I've had a few people say, what did you prefer? So I thought I'd do a video on it. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Make sure you click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.